Hey guys, into the end here. I am playing some games with this deck I named Inquisitor's Rule, which is the Arch Import deck that I just did a tech on. If you haven't seen it, take a look at my channel. This hand is not, well, it's a decent hand against a slow deck, but without knowing what my opponent is doing, it's a little risky. I have no real plays into turn 4. That's too slow if my opponent has any 1-2 drops in his deck. So I'm gonna redraw that. Even though that is a pretty good hand against a slower deck, though. This is good. Assuming I draw a land, which I do, then this deck is excellent. Actually, Valkyrie Enforcers are very powerful. I get to see an extra card. Now I have a removal spell. Dark Wisp is okay as a turn 2 drop. It's a cantrip. And it looks like I'm playing against a very slow deck. Which actually means my last hand would have been better. But but that's okay. There's no way I could know that. Let's see if this is 2 or 3 colors. This could very well be just a 2-color control deck. My deck is okay against control decks, depending on whether or not he has a threat that really takes over the game. Because casting a whole bunch of 5/5 flyers like Macdo is fine against a control decks that has a lot of removal spells, but it's not good against decks that go really big. I mean, it's not going to save me against, say, a whole bunch of Channel the Tempest to the face, for example. Oh no, it is 3 colors. Oh. Steward is very good against my revenge units. It's actually pretty good against the Dark Wisp as well. The question is whether or not well, it's almost guaranteed that the deck like this would run Harsh Rule. So I don't really want to run out another unit. I think I'm just going to remove his... And I'm happy to do that because killing this unit allows me to get in 1 extra damage. And also, when the Dark Wisp dies to his Harsh Rule, I get a card back. So I'm actually not losing a card out of the deal. Because if I don't kill it, and he Harsh Rules, I don't get a card. So that's not too bad. And I can still deal with problematic creatures by silencing them or using my own Harsh Rule. So I'm not too afraid of using my removal spell here. So the fact that he's playing Permafrost leads me to believe that he doesn't have a Harsh Rule in his hand, or he's deemed that this is not worth using Harsh Rule on, which is great. So we're just going to smash him for 6. And this is really good. If he kills this, he is essentially trading 1 card for 1 card because I do get a card back. So there's no card disadvantage. Another reason why I keep saying that this is a attrition-based value deck. And it's because of plays like this. So at this point, I'm more than happy to just attack with the 6/6. Okay, well now that it's dead, now that it's dead, I will play the Silverwing. And I'll play Dark Wisp as well. There's no drawback in playing the Dark Wisp, even if you somehow Harsh Rules. No matter what he does, I'm not going to suffer from a card disadvantage. See, that's not an issue because I have a Flying Silencer. So, swing in for 6. If he Harsh Rules, we're trade. This is not dead. This I get a card. I get a card back here. I lose 1 card, and he loses 2 if he Harsh Rules. So, at any given point in this board state, he is the one who loses if he plays a sweeper. He's attacking me. I guess, of course he would. My life is very high. I'd rather just not block and do an extra damage to him. Because in this race, I'm winning very badly. So that's somewhat problematic. It's now bigger than any of my attackers' I don't want to use my harsh rules. That's not great at all. But if I don't attack him, he's also not attacking me. So it's actually the best thing to do is to play the unblockable creature. He can't really attack into me profitably, but I can hit him for 2 a turn. He's at 10 life. This will force him to do something. If I double block, he'll most likely kill the Silverwing Familiar, and then I no longer have what it takes to block this. So I'm just gonna chump block it and draw a card. If I can draw a weapon onto this, then I will be doing very well. Oh, okay, so he's setting up for the harsh rule now. It's very clear. But then he won't kill this though. Maybe he just has another one single target removal, which he can then use on this, and that allows him to attack me for 5 in the air. So I think what I'll do instead is just go all in. He'll block this. I'll do 5 damage. I can harsh rule myself. He'll be at 5, and then this does a guaranteed 4, well, pretty much 4 damage when he comes back. But do I need to though? Because I can attack with this. Actually, let's just attack with this because I'm not really worried at the moment. I'll play that out. But once again, none of these units that I'm playing now are all that susceptible to a sweeper, so I'm okay if he harsh rules here. But this applies a little bit more pressure. He needs to find a way to get rid of Bartholos, and if he doesn't, I'm in good shape. So he's coming all in. This is looking like he's setting up for a harsh rule. If that's the case, then... Well, if I don't block, and he doesn't have harsh rule, then I can get 2 damage in. Nah, he has it. He has it. There's no way he doesn't. I think if he has a harsh rule though, then he made a mistake. He should have knocked the Aegis off of the Seducer instead, because he can kill the Silverwing Familiar through combat damage. Okay, so I was wrong. He doesn't have it, or he doesn't want to pull the trigger yet. Although, if he has it, then he really should have pulled the trigger here. So I guess it doesn't really matter. This will be lethal. Bartholos really is an amazing card against control decks. Okay, so that's a pretty typical game against control. Because I'm a value-based deck, I am able to apply some pressure and never really overextend into a harsh rule. Except that game plan doesn't always work against Chalice control, because they're much better at nickel and diming than I am. So this deck doesn't have a fantastic matchup against Chalice. But on to the next game.